この動画には実際の犯罪現場の映像が含まれています。視聴の際は十分ご注意ください。
Hello, I'm Sergeant Andy Williams with the Phoenix Police Department Public Affairs Bureau. The information, audio, video, and pictures you're about to see are intended to provide details as we currently understand them of an officer-involved shooting that occurred on February 11th, 2022. This video may contain strong language as well as graphic images which could be disturbing to some people. Viewer discretion is advised. This incident occurred in the area of 54th Avenue and Elwood Street, when a 911 call was made and a man, later identified as 36-year-old Morris Jones, reported his wife had been shot by intruders during a robbery. Officers would later discover Jones had shot and killed his ex-girlfriend, Shatifa Lobley, inside the home. Here's the audio from the 911 call, which was placed at 2:10 a.m. The call appears to be on speakerphone, and two male voices can be heard. One is Jones, and one is victim Lobley's adult brother.
Phoenix 911, where is your emergency?
It's a gunshot wound.
It's a gunshot wound.
Where?
We got an intruder.
We had an intruder.
Is that a house?
Yes.
So you shot an intruder?
Baby, wake up. Wake up, baby.
Hello, is somebody there to talk to me?
Huh?
Who got
Wake
shot?
up. It's a gunshot wound. We had an intruder.
I got that. Can I talk to one person? Who got shot?
My wife.
Who
They
is
came in here trying to rob us. They came in here and robbed us.
Okay, how many were there?
It was three of us.
Did you
They
see
keep
the
the
race,
going.
white, black, Hispanic?
They had masks on. I can't say.
Okay, what kind of, did they all have weapons?
Yes, they are. Baby.
When did they leave?
Don't wake up. Wake up, baby. Wake up. Wake up.
Body-worn cameras are used by all officers assigned to patrol and in several specialty units. Per policy, they are worn at mid-torso level and capture the view of the line of sight from that perspective. It's important to note that the camera lens is fixed and does not capture everything seen or experienced by the officer. When activated, both audio and video turn on. The body-worn camera has a buffer of video without audio for the 30 seconds prior to activation. This feature is designed to capture incidents that happen suddenly where an officer doesn't immediately activate the camera. The Phoenix Police Department does not currently use in-car camera systems. At about 2:15 a.m., the first officer arrived at the house and approached Jones, who was standing in the threshold of the front doorway. Jones waved his arm repeatedly, motioning the officer to come inside while saying, "Come on, come on." When the officer neared the front door, Jones raised a handgun that he had concealed by his side and shot the officer multiple times. The officer turned and ran down the street while notifying other officers he had been shot and needed help.
Come on, bro. Come on.
Who's all in the house?
Huh?
Who's all in the house?
It's me.
Who's you? No. I've been shot. No.
The next officer on scene arrived just as Jones shot the first officer. The second officer fired his duty weapon at Jones, striking him once as Jones went back into the house and closed the door. The officer activated his body-worn camera after the shooting. The video captured has no audio because it is part of the 30-second buffer. Here's the body-worn camera video from the first officer who fired his duty weapon. Over the next few minutes, multiple officers arrived on scene and set up a perimeter around the house. At about 2:28 a.m., Jones went outside to a small fenced-in side yard area and shot into the air in the direction of the police helicopter overhead.
I got you. West side.
West side. West side.
At about 2:32 a.m., Jones got into a vehicle in the garage on the backside of the house.
Garage door is opening, guys.
The garage door opened, and Jones tried to drive away. A police vehicle parked at the back of the house prevented Jones from leaving.
Here comes a car.
Squealing can be heard from Jones's vehicle as he drove into the police vehicle. After the unsuccessful attempt to leave, Jones closed the garage door and went back inside the house. At about 2:36 a.m., Lobley's brother came out of the front door holding a baby. As two officers placed handcuffs on Lobley's brother, another group of officers moved toward the front door of the house to rescue the baby. As the officers reached the front door, Jones shot multiple times, striking several officers. Lobley's brother and several other officers nearby were struck by bullet fragments that ricocheted off the ground. Here's the same event captured on a different officer's body-worn camera.
Hey, come with me. Baby. Door. I got the baby.
During this round of shots, Jones was inside the house at the top of the stairs, which are directly inside the open front door.
I'm shot. Yes.
All right, move. Come on. Go. Now. Go.
At about 2:49 a.m., Morris again fired from inside the house. One officer returned fire. That officer's body-worn camera was not activated at that time. Here's the body-worn camera video of an officer who was nearby.
Good?
Yeah.
Is that our car?
No, it's out the front door right now.
Officers from the Special Assignments Unit, or SAU, arrived on scene and developed a plan using armored vehicles and shields to rescue the baby. This occurred at about 3:30 a.m.
I need it. Here, give me the baby. Give me the baby. Go. It's okay.
At about 3:39 a.m., Jones shot at and struck an armored vehicle while SAU officers were inside it, causing damage to one of the tires.
Behind us. There's. Let's go. I got nothing. Feels good. Goff, what do you got? I got nothing. Just through the door.
SAU negotiators had been talking with Jones over the phone in an attempt to get him to come out of the house and surrender. Jones did not stay on the phone. The negotiators sent text messages and left voicemails as well.
Morris, this is the Phoenix Police SWAT team. We are out here. We are trying to save your life. It is very important that I talk to you right now. This is the number you need to call, the number you need to answer.
SAU officers launched gas rounds into the house to encourage Jones to come out. When there was no response, the officers eventually entered the residence and located Jones inside, dead, from an apparent self-inflicted gunshot wound. They also located the adult female victim, Shatifa Lobley, dead from a gunshot wound. Detectives later determined Jones used a handgun when he shot the officer who initially approached the front door. Each subsequent volley of gunfire from Jones was with a rifle. Both weapons were located inside the home next to Jones' body. The first officer involved in this shooting has been with the department for 15 years and is assigned to the Maryvale Estrella Mountain Precinct. The second officer involved in this shooting has been with the department for 18 years and is assigned to the Central City Precinct. 9 officers were injured by gunfire during this incident. 4 officers received significant injuries. 5 officers received minor injuries. This incident is the subject of both an internal and a criminal investigation, which will be reviewed by the Maricopa County Attorney's Office. Conclusions about whether the actions of the officers are consistent with department policy and the law will not be made until all the facts are known and the investigation is complete.